The meaning of Pavel is small.
You've done some good work, big work, I must say. So that does
Yeah.
not match with your name, anyways.
They will be like, that's not the type of thing we are looking for. I'm like, oh, they even take from other people's plates with their hands. Like, what is this? Oh, okay, okay.
पहले डेली व्लॉग से शुरू किया था, फिर वो 3 दिन में आए, फिर हफ्ता भर हुआ, 15 दिन, महीना, और बस ऐसे ही चल रहा था हिसाब किताब। लेकिन इस बार हमने सोचा है, कसम खुदा की सोचा है, इस बार हमने सोचा है कि हम जो है वाकई में डेली आएंगे। डेली नहीं, वीकली आएंगे। हाँ, और देखो हमने हर चीज़ ट्राई कर ली है। हमारे चैनल पर जाओगे सब चीज़ मिलेगी तुमको, रिव्यू भी मिलेगा। रक्तांचल के रिव्यू किए थे, घूमना फिरना भी था, वो 2-3 जगह जो भी गए थे, वो अपना डेली ब्लॉगिंग स्टार्ट करा था। अब मुद्दा ये हमने डिसाइड करा, ये सारी चीज़ें, इन सब में कुछ मज़ा नहीं आ रहा था। मज़ा किस में आया था? जब कहीं हम बाहर घूमने जाएं तो हम, अब पिछले बार तो देखो इंडियाज़ फर्स्ट राइफल एकेडमी में गए थे। इस बार कहाँ गए पता है? गए नहीं, इस बार बुला लिए एक ट्रैवलर गाइड को, वो भी इंडिया का नहीं, बाहर का, यूके का। मुद्दा ये है भाई साहब कि एक ट्रैवलर गाइड जिसका नाम है पेवल, ही इज़ फ्रॉम यूके and he has a podcast of his own and also a YouTube channel which you can definitely search, Curious Pavel के नाम से, Pavel is the spelling, Curious की spelling सबको आती है। So what I thought कि let's connect with him. I cannot travel, so I can definitely talk to a traveler guide who talked to me and he was very nice, very sweet person, क्योंकि मेरा जो ये पूरा टेक्निकल वाला हिसाब किताब है इसमें डब्बा गोल था। तो हमने सोचा कि उनसे कैसे कनेक्ट करें। जूम मीटिंग में कनेक्ट करने की बात हुई, सारी चीज़ सेट हो गई और बड़ी मुश्किल से मतलब कनेक्ट बन पाया, क्योंकि मैं टेक्निकली इतना स्ट्रांग नहीं हूँ। बट ही वॉज़ वेरी स्वीट इनफ, ही वॉज सो स्वीट, सो गुड कि ही वॉज़ वेरी काम एंड क्वाइट। मेरी सारी बेवकूफ़ियों के बाद भी ही एक्सेप्टेड मी, ही एक्सेप्टेड टू गिव द इंटरव्यू एंड इट टुक अ लॉन्ग टाइम। आई मीन पूरा 45 मिनट से ज़्यादा तक हम लोगों ने बात की, 50 मिनट्स मोर देन दैट। लेकिन मैं आपको एडिटेड क्वेश्चंस सुना रहा हूँ एंड द बेस्ट पार्ट इज़, लेट मी टेल यू, क्वेश्चंस जो थे वो, क्योंकि हुआ ये कि जूम मीटिंग में मेरा चेहरा आया नहीं, क्योंकि एज आई टोल्ड यू उसमें स्क्रीन शेयर का बटन होता है, वो मैं दबा नहीं पाया था। सो लेट्स गो स्ट्रेट टू द क्वेश्चंस आई आस्क्ड देम। सो पहला सवाल मैंने उनसे ये पूछा कि डज ट्रैवलिंग helps you evolve? और उन्होंने क्या कहा?
In a way actually depends, because there are many people. I did a video a while ago, a tourist versus traveler, and where the tourists just like go for the picture, they just go in a different country and then they will not try the local food, but they will go to eat in places they know, like McDonald's. Yeah. And this blows my mind. I mean, if you are somewhere, just try and see what they eat. You know, it may look disgusting, but exactly, maybe try it and see at least one. I mean, you how do you know that you like bananas? Once you tried bananas and then you realize, oh, that's actually good, and that's why you like bananas. You need to try different things. But definitely traveling, if I think if it's done correctly, because that is a term, if it's done correctly, there are many ways to travel. If it's done correctly, traveling can make you grow, because it's going to open your mind. And I'm going to give you an example.
Yeah.
I used to work in, I mean, I've been changing my jobs in the last few years, probably every year. And then I was working with people from Sri Lanka and from India. And then I saw them eating so many times with their hands. You know, they don't use cutlery. They eat with their hands, and then they even take from other people's plates with their hands. Like, what is this? Oh, okay. And to me, as a European, I was like, that is so weird. Then I went to Bali. And in Bali, because as I told you, I like to explore and get connected.
I've seen your video of Bali on YouTube.
Yeah. And I got connected to a local tour guide. And he was almost every day with us. And because I'm curious, I will ask him questions like, oh, is this a temple is this a temple here? He would say, no, this is actually a normal house. I'm like, oh, that is so weird. So anyway, we were eating once for lunch, and we were eating chicken and rice, and he was eating it with his spoon. And I'm like, why do you eat spoon? Why do you eat your chicken with a spoon? I mean, just take a fork. And he was like, normally I'll eat just with my hands. And then I
Exactly.
connected with what I've seen. I was like, okay, hold on. So why do you eat with your hands? And he's like, because here we believe that when you eat, you need to eat in a way with all your senses. So we not only see and smell and taste the food, but we also
Absolutely.
touch it. And this, boom, it opened my mind. Now I understand everything. Now I understand why people are doing it. I mean,
Yes.
it's so different if you just travel and ask some questions, be curious, opens your mind.
Second question, I asked him about any incident which he remembers. This is very interesting. Um, Listen to this.
One incident. So probably one of the last walking tours I did. I did it for a family. There were, mom and dad, and then there were two kids of the age of maybe 18 or something. Um, and I I still remember that the woman was so grumpy. Like she was one of those people that everything is bad for her. Everything's bad. And she was like, what are you showing us here? Like these things, I can Google them myself. I was like, okay, why didn't you Google them? Why are you coming here? It's like, we want to see what people come here for. You're showing us a park that I can see this in home in USA. I was like, this park is part of the things that people are coming. Like, look, there are pelicans here. This is an attraction. And it was so difficult to please, but the kids were asked, okay, kids, are you enjoying this tour? Like, shall we stop? And no, we're learning new things. Let's go. So this was so difficult. But the guy from Bali, he
Mm.
was so strange. I mean, not pleasantly strange. He was so calm. He knew a lot of things. Like he was like, "Da, da, 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 da." And I asked him something like, hey, get it, this and this. Like, yes, this is that, that. I'm like, okay, it's so strange, but it's the magic for me. This is the magic of traveling because you see other people, you see how they react and their daily life, and it's definitely a mind opener.
The most important plan, the most important question जो सब लोग पूछते हैं, शुड यू मेक अ प्लान टू ट्रैवल या फिर बस मुंह उठा के चल देना चाहिए जैसे फिल्मों में दिखाते हैं, सामान बांधा बांधा और निकल लिए.
um i I try to make plans, yes, because when you go in a place and you are restricted in a time, meaning that you go in a place for 1 week. I mean, there is just so many things you can do. It's just 1 week, and I highly encourage everyone to make plans because I was in my one of my episodes of the podcast where I take local guides from around the world and I ask them about their location or knowledgeable locals. We did with New Zealand with a guy who lives in New Zealand all his life, and I asked him about this and this and this, and I was like, okay, I want to go to New Zealand. How about we make a plan? So we did a like 2 weeks plan, what to do, 2 days here, 3 days here, and especially when you go that far, from Europe to New Zealand, you have to have a plan. You have to, because for example, here in UK, people are coming. One of the most famous attractions is Big Ben. People are coming for Big Ben. Oh, I want a picture of Big Ben. But in the last 3 or 4 years, Big Ben is under construction. You cannot actually see it. It's all scaffolding. It's covered. It's like Transformers, literally.
Yeah.
And people are coming that don't make research. People are coming and they're like, well, where is Big Ben? I'm like, here is Big Ben. They're like, no. I'm like, yeah, you need to come back in 3 years to see it if you want. I'm like, so you have to make a research. But in the same time, if your plan says go forward and then you're walking forward, but on the left side you see something that is, fascinating, I will 9 out of 10, I will always go and check what this is.
One trip that changed his mind as a traveler. Listen to this.
I think the way I changed when I started traveling is when I started doing YouTube videos. Definitely. I was traveling before that and I was seeing things, but the way I
Yeah.
changed my way of, seeing things and exploring things is when I started doing YouTube videos. And it's not that I had to because I do YouTube videos, but I I opened my mind. The reason why, because I started, is because I'm teaching people to open their eyes, and before they people that live in London, before they travel to Paris or Amsterdam or Barcelona, there are a lot of things to explore in their city here. And because I was telling them that, I mean, I was experiencing it myself. So definitely. But my first ever trip, I was dancing Bulgarian folklore dances for 12 years. And when I was fifth grade, which is about 12, 13 years of age, we went to Macedonia, which is a neighboring country of Bulgaria, and the bus left me there on the way back. So I
Oh
had to stay alone in the country at the 12 years of age for about 2.5 hours.
my
Shocking.
God, my God. So that
Yeah.
did that change your entire thought process about traveling? You might be. I mean, that's strange. Even after that, you like traveling. Had there been anyone else, you would have been into that mental trauma of you being left behind and in a travel thing, right?
Yeah, and I know, but to me, it was surprising. I was really surprised how I reacted, because I went out of the. So basically, we were about 25 kids in a way. We were 12, 13 years old, and we were in a bus. So we went to one of the most famous cities in Macedonia. It's called Ohrid. Has a magnificent lake, and we spent an hour there, and we were coming back in the bus, and somebody said on the bus, hey, do you know that the coins that you have, you cannot exchange them back in Bulgaria? No, you're going to be stuck with them. So you can see like 7, 8 kids going to the nearest shop to spend their coins because they don't want them with them. And I'm like, oh, Coke, Fanta, tic tac. And then I go out of the shop, and then the bus is gone.
Oh
It
my
is not
God.
there. And I look left, right, and I see the bus, but it's moving. And I'm like, oh shit. And I started running. I run after the bus. It's like a one big street. And I run after the bus, but it's too far. And then I see a traffic light, and the bus stops. I'm like, that's my chance. That's my chance. And I'm gonna keep running, come faster, start waving my hands. Maybe the driver will see me in the rear view mirror. But nothing happens, turns green, and then the bus turns left and it disappears. And I'm like, what the hell? So
Oh
I
my
went
God.
back. I went back, and I'm surprised how I reacted. I wasn't like, I wasn't so panicking,
Definitely, it's
crying.
it's a different reaction you're talking about because had I been at your age, and I would have thought that I'll never travel again in my entire life. Then that's
Yeah,
great.
I just went back there on the same spot and I waited for them.
फिल्मों में तो देखा है कि ट्रैवलिंग में अक्सर कोई स्पेशल मिल जाता है. So did this traveler find someone special in any of his trips?
I so I did 3 years in Bulgaria, 2 years in Greece, that entertainment thing, and then I said, okay, I want to change. Before I finish with this entertainment, maybe I'll do 1 or 2 years. Let's see, let's do something, a new place. So I started looking for Spain, and then I got this. I saw this opportunity for Mallorca,
Okay.
and I went to. I was like, I went for an interview online. Hey,
Mhm.
I've done this. I can speak these languages, this and that. And they were like, okay, great, let's do it. We're gonna invite you in Mallorca. Uh, you're flying on 1st of April. And then I remember, because I didn't tell everybody. I'm telling just the people that are close to me. And I
Mhm.
go to the airport on 1st of April, and I posted a picture. And I was like, okay, see you soon, Bulgaria, Mallorca, hello, or something like that. See Spain, I'll see you soon. Uh, and the comments, I still remember the comments like 1st of April, haha, you're such a joker, we don't believe you. But then I posted a picture from Spain, like, oh, you are actually saying the truth. So I went there, and basically it's a chain of hotels, and then all these hotels have different entertainers, but we get together to dance some dances, rehearse, because we were also dancers, we were dancing. And then I see this girl,
Okay.
and I'm like, I, funny thing is that before I went to Mallorca, I was thinking, you know what, probably time to settle down. Enough 2 weeks relationships. Like let's settle down. And I was having this in my mind, and boom, what happened? So I go there and I see this girl, like, she's so pretty, like, wow. And then there was this Bulgarian guy. There was another Bulgarian guy there. He was like, you should stay away from her, man. She's
Oh my God.
dangerous. Yeah. I
Seriously.
mean, yeah. I mean, not in a way that he wants to be with her, but
Yeah.
that she's not like a normal person. She's like
Okay.
more difficult character in a
All
way.
right. That way. Yeah.
And I'll be like, dangerous. I like danger. So we started talking. Then I started pushing in a way, like in a nice way, like, hey, let's go out. Hey, this and that. Let's have a drink. And she was like, no, no, leave me alone. No, 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 no.
Oh,
Uh, yeah. So I
a
had to work
denial
on.
first. So much after so
Oh
much of
yeah, not
denial.
yeah, not just at first. There was a lot of denials.
Oh
Like
my
there
God.
were series of denials,
Oh.
because she had some standards in a way. She said to herself,
Mm.
uh, "I don't want to be with people with short hair," and I was like shaved. Then
Ah.
I don't want people with short hair. I don't want to. I don't want anything to do with Bulgarians in from countries from Eastern Europe,
Oh my
and
God.
I don't want to do anything with colleagues. And I was all
Tough
free.
conditions for you.
But I fought the odds, and it took me about 10 less than 10 days, I think. And she said, okay, let's do it. But it was
All
tough.
right.
It was very tough. Yeah.
Finally,
And
you
we're
are a
we're
winner.
still we're still together. Yeah, we were like almost 6 years, I think.
Oh, great. Awesome. That's great. That's awesome.
I also asked him about the connect if he found any in any of his trips.
Like you went to Bali.
Yeah.
What connect did you find over there? One word.
uh Peace.
Peace. Spain.
Food.
Okay. All right. Then UK, the place you're still residing.
Business.
Pure business. Okay.
Any business, because here my mind opened so much. I think I was open-minded before, but here I'm way more open, and I see the world as a bucket of opportunities, and you just need to take it like, okay, that's not mine, and just like take another one. Like it's not just travel, but many, like, because the book I wrote is not travel related, but it's all connected to other things that I was doing before that. So business
Mhm.
in general.
Okay. Bulgaria.
Home.
Okay. You still remember the places out there, and you still want to go to that place again and again.
Yes, I mean, of course I remember my place and my home and where I'm born. Yes, I remember it, and I'm happy to go there, not so much for the place itself, but for the people that are there. And the funny thing is that I have traveled more outside Bulgaria than inside Bulgaria. And I realized that when I started doing these videos, like there's so many, and I'm getting goosebumps now. And then there's so many people, as I said before, that they're like, as you know, the grass is always greener on the other side, on the neighbor's lawn. So people
Yeah.
just go and explore some other things, like, while there are a lot of things inside their home country.
Hmm.
And every time I go back to Bulgaria now, when I first started going abroad and living here in UK, when I was going back to Bulgaria, I was seeing friends, chilling. That now every time I go back to Bulgaria now is I want to see something. I want to do something. I want to see something. I just want to find a new location and explore it.
Okay. So, any other place you find something you found something which was very unique, very new, you would like to share with us?
I think any place can be unique.
Hmm.
It depends where you look for, what you look for as well. That's why you need to make some research. I have been also to so um, thanks to the thanks to the folklore dances that I dance, I visited Macedonia,
Hmm.
Slovakia, Greece, France, and Italy.
Okay.
And these countries, although it was nice experience for me, I didn't explore them much because we were busy, we were dancing there.
Hmm.
Plus, I would be looking to them through different eyes. But I have also been to Alaska. Uh, I was working on a ship that was on anchor. I was cleaning fish there for
Oh.
about a month, and
Oh.
it was some experience. And then I went on the shore, where I was working as a housekeeper, and it was a small village on the one restaurant, one hotel, one bank, everything was one.
Oh,
There were just some few people that lived
I
there,
mean, in
and
that
there,
entire area, there was only one hotel, one bank, one.
yes,
Oh my God.
yes, it was a really small town, and the whole business was with people that are passing by. So in the hotel, we wouldn't have people to stay for a week. We'll have people coming with a big bus that are traveling to somewhere, stay there overnight, and then go. That was it. And it was so funny because the whole city was basically on a crossroad of two highways, and one of the highways had a sign to Canada, and the other one highway had a sign to the North Pole. And I'm like, where did I go? I'm to the North Pole. Oh my god! Um, but there always, 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 wherever you travel, there are always things that can fascinate you. I'm sure.
The most fascinating trip in your life.
Oh, so if I ask my girlfriend, she would probably say Dubai.
Okay.
But I think my second most fascinating trip probably is when I went with my friend Vlado to Belgium and Amsterdam. It's when we visited the one of our friends. His name is Luigi. He's Italian, and we visited the carnival there. It was fascinating. Uh, let's put that third. The
Okay.
second most you know connecting trip in a way is when with my girlfriend when I went to Andalusia in Spain, and I went to Sevilla and Malaga. We were actually no, we were exploring. We weren't just chilling. It was really nice. And probably the first one I would say the one to Alaska, because I spent 1 month on the ship and then 2 months on the land, altogether 3 months. And there were so many things. I mean, like that was my I was at I was 20 at that time, still kind of young, still kind of you know many things to learn, not just in travel but in life as well. And there were so many things happening. I was the age for drinking is 21 in USA, so I was still everybody else was drinking, but I wasn't drinking at the same time. Uh, One of my friends, we were living in this like many things happened.
खाने का एक बहुत बड़ा कनेक्शन होता है ट्रैवलिंग से। भाई जाओगे बाहर तो खाना खाओगे, कुछ इस टाइप का कुछ नई चीज़ इन फूड एंड व्हाट डिड यू से?
Food, definitely it connects to life, it connects to the place as well, because if you eat one food in one place, in another place you may not eat it. So basically in a way it's distinctive for that place. So I recently recorded a podcast with a girl from the Philippines, and in the podcast episodes I asked them about the food, like wherever the person lives. I asked them like, what do you eat there, like what do you
Mm.
drink, tell
Mm.
me about your gastronomy. And she said, one of the very most popular things here to eat is balut. And I'm like, what that is?
No, I don't know. You need to
No.
share
So
that.
basically, it's imagine an egg, which
Okay.
is from a duck or from a chicken,
Uh-huh.
and the baby starts developing,
Uh-huh.
but they kill it at some point. So
Oh.
basically, you're gonna have an egg with a dead chick inside,
Oh.
and they eat that.
Mhm.
Yeah. But here's the curious thing.
Okay.
Uh, she said this is salt only during the night when it's dark. And I'm like, why is that? And she said, because you don't see what's inside and you just eat it. And I'm like, oh, wow. And sometimes you put vinegar on it. And apparently it's a very big thing. And she said, when it comes to, I said, I'm keen to find about the Philippines. There's some island. There's so many islands in the Philippines, and some islands they say that not even inhabited, or some on some islands there even people living in like tribes. And I'm keen, and I asked, are they friendly? Yes, they're friendly. Okay. And I'm keen to travel and explore the Philippines. And she said, when you come here, call me and we're going to go and eat that together. I'm like, maybe I'm not calling you in that case. It's so strange. I mean, I always try to explore uh, countries and places through their food and drink. That's one of the things.
Mhm.
But when I go there, I mean, I will probably try it. Yes, I'll probably try it, but it's gonna be difficult for me. That's for sure.
Finally, his philosophy of life and traveling. What did he say? Very interesting.
If you're not curious, become just a bit curious, and you find out that one, the more the, if you start being curious, you find out that you're gonna be more and more curious with time. One, and that goes not just to traveling, that goes in life. I when I was at younger age, I found out that even I didn't had the curious in my name, I had it in me. And the
Mm.
reason was I will walk on the street, and for example, I see a let's say I'll see a sign with abbreviation like CCB, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what is CCB? And I don't know what it is. So I've had these flip phones.
Mm.
I'll flip the phone and I write a text message. I will not send it. I'll just write a text message. What is CCB? And then I'll go home. I'll check it. I am so like
Curious.
yeah, exactly, and so mind blown away from when I'm by myself. And it just be curious, people. Ask questions. Because I always say,
Yeah.
it's much better not to know where Africa is when you're 18 rather than when you're 58, because it's gonna be way more embarrassing. Just ask questions for things you don't know. Don't leave them behind. Learn something new today.
So being curious is being spiritual, I must say.
Yeah, in a way, it goes together. Yes.
Yeah, that goes. That's like it goes hand in hand. If you're curious, that means you need to know a lot.
Mhm.
And if you are not curious, that means your life is just a boring one. You're not traveling. You're not curious, and you should be curious. As my lovely guest today, called Curious Pavel.
Exactly.
So thank you so much, Pavel. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
It was my pleasure. It was definitely my pleasure.
तो देखे राजा, बैठे बैठाए आपको घुमा दिए ना। इस बार एक ट्रैवलर गाइड है जो कि यूके में है। अगली बार मैंने एक बंदे को सेट करके रखा है जो पहली बार लद्दाख गया था बाय रोड। आई एम श्योर आप लोगों ने बहुत सारे यूट्यूब चैनल्स में देखा होगा कैसे जाते हैं, लेकिन एक बंदे की ज़ुबानी सुनने की बात कुछ और होगी। अरे आएंगे हम सच बोल रहे हैं। अरे विश्वास मानो, हम आएंगे। अरे कहाँ जा रहे हो? हम आएंगे भाई, हम सच सच बोल रहे हैं। अरे अरे